What's up, everybody? Um, Happy to be making this video. PSA order back in the house. To those of you who watched the live stream on Sunday night, I shared a little bit about PSA. So here's the thing. You guys know I have a love-hate relationship with PSA, mostly hate, because of a few key things, right? Number one, a few key things. I'd say about two or three key things. Number one, they were way too expensive. Way too expensive. Number two, they are godly inconsistent in the way that they grade. And number three, they take way too long to grade things. But taking into consideration the fact that they grade over 1 million cards a month, the turnaround time on this order was relatively decent given that fact. But since then, a number of things have changed. They've dropped prices on some things. I am a Collectors Club member, so I do get the Collectors Club pricing down to a reasonable, and what I feel is a reasonable, $14. I don't think I've said this before, and I'm holding to it. I don't think we will ever see a sub $14 or sub $10 pricing with PSA ever again. I just don't think they have any motivation to do it. There's no reason for them to drop these prices to where it'll get to $10. I mean, they're grading 1 million cards a month. So at $14 a card, you can do the math there on revenue. So anyway, so they've come down in pricing. Their turnaround times have gotten significantly better. This order in particular was received in their system on December 18th. Today is February 22nd. I got the email basically 2 months ago, 2 months from the date that they got it in their order. So I got the email on like the 18th that my grades had popped. So 60 days basically on a $14 sub, which is, I mean, you can't shake a stick at that. That's pretty good. So they've improved those two things. Now here's the other thing that's really turning me into a PSA guy. I don't like saying that because I'm not. I feel like if I tell you guys that I like PSA now, you guys are gonna think that I hate SGC, and that is simply not the case. I'll do a whole nother video on that. But the main things about PSA that I do not like, price and turnaround time, have both been fixed, essentially. I don't want to call them fixed, but they've been adjusted to palatable levels. The next thing is grading inconsistency. And everybody that I talk to that is an avid PSA grader always talks about how they feel good about the majority of their sub, but then there's these, depending on the size of your sub, there's always these 1, 2, or 3, depending on the size of your sub, that just come in that just baffle the hell out of you. You're like, how did a 2022, 23 Donruss Optic get a PSA 6, right? And then you go read the description of a PSA 6 and some of the things that are allowable within a PSA 6, and somehow your card got that grade. And this is a card that you wiped down and looked at. You know, some of them are just so out of this world that it doesn't make any sense. I've experienced that in this particular one. So let's jump right in here. I'm gonna go ahead and crack this open. I don't think there's anything sensitive information on here that you guys could. And listen, if you wanna track down where I live and come see me or something like that, you weirdos, that's not a good suggestion. I live in Texas, and we have certain laws that allow us to have certain things with us at all times that'll allow us to protect ourselves. So probably not the best idea. Anyway, so I think it was 10 cards, because I think that's what the deal was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 cards total. There are some oddball cards in here because the requirements for this sub were pretty strict, because it was like I think 80s and 90s basketball. Like you could not go higher than I think 91 or something like that, or it had to be like 80s or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I have seen the grades on this stuff, so I'm not, but I don't quite remember. But we'll get to the one that I think is kind of weird. So, Scottie Pippen special edition. This is collector's choice. This is the international bunch. Man, what is that on the? Like a scratch on the slab there. Kind of weird. Man, just the proportions of a PSA slab are great. The proportions are great. I don't know. Anyway, so there, PSA 9, Detlef Schrempf. You guys might not know who that is, but one of my favorite guys. PSA 7. There's a little whiting on the corners and stuff like that I don't recall there being when I sent it in. So I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, look at that corner up there. That's a funky corner right there. Funky corner. Cool card. I pulled this myself. Actually, you can go back and look at the video where I pulled this. So it's pack pulled, kind of cool. Here's another Detlef Schrempf. Got a PSA 9. Pretty dope card, man. I love these cards. I remember pulling these as a kid. Was just like ridiculous that you pull these holographics. Going nuts. Pretty cool. Pretty cool card there. Here's another card that I've had for a while. Kobe Bryant Net Burners 96 Press Pass. Pretty dope card. And to get a PSA 8 on this card with the amount of die cut from the early 90s. So this is die cut early 90s. Pretty happy about that. Press Pass. Kobe Bryant. Pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Here we go. We're going to get into the bulk of what I submitted, which was these Panini hand-cut stickers. PSA 9 on the Jordan. This is number 91. There was a total of 3 designs that I sent in. I think this is the 10. Nope, 8. So PSA 8 on that one. So I got an 8, a 9, and a 10. So pretty stoked about that. I mean, I was not expecting to get a 10 on any of these. So to have gotten one is pretty cool. Now, herein lies the question. Is that what we would have to get these under a microscope? Because I really would like to know what the difference was between these two cards that denoted this one getting an 8 and this one getting a 10. And at naked eye, there's really nothing that I can see. I might have to do a whole nother video on that because my brother has a really nice video microscope that we'll see. But here's a 9 in the Jordan, and this is the K. So if you're familiar with these stickers at all, they come in a magazine, and these have to be hand cut, so you got to hand cut them. I bought a gang of these magazines way back when, and I just sent them in. I was waiting for the perfect time to send them in to PSA. Here's another 9, so a bunch of 9s, 1 8, and 1 10. It just seems like, like that's the way to go, right? And then they go, let's just give them a 6. So again, this is what gets me about PSA, right? Is that like, I don't know. And if you look at the description of a 6, right? If you look at the description of a 6 on PSA's website, there is nothing present in this card, that denotes it getting a 6. Again, I'm going to do a whole video on this, whole another video where we're going to look at these two under a microscope. 4 grades? 4? I mean, these were all looked over These were all looked over with a fine-tooth comb. I have a loop. I have lighting. I have all of that. This got a 10. This got a 6. And again, it's not so much the grade that bothers me. What bothers me is the lack of explanation as to why. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then this one gets an 8. And this one gets an 8. As Goldie in the UFC would say, they are virtually identical. They were cut identical. They came out of the same page. Yet this one got a 6, this one got an 8, and that one got a 10. But these cards are virtually identical. And we have no explanation as to why. And this is what still bothers me about PSA. So we'll jump off here. Again, this is the problem that I have with PSA. Is that you just don't know the level of consistency that you're going to get with the way that they grade. And it blows my mind. And I think what bothers me even more is that nobody cares, right? Like, nobody cares. Because I've watched countless videos of people getting their PSA orders back on cards that they have diligently pre-screened, wiped down and cleaned off and put under a loop and under a magnifying glass and in a well-lit room, a properly lit room. And they still somehow manage to get back 5s and 6s, 7s on ultra-modern cards. Where if you look at the description on what PSA calls a 6, and then look at that card, I want to know how they got there. But PSA is grading 1 million cards a month. They don't care what you think. They don't care. They don't care. Because what's going to happen is sort of what happened to me. I'm so elated about this 10 that kind of don't care about the 6. But you should care about the 6. Because this level of difference denotes bad procedures with the company itself. Their grading procedures are not solid, or the training by which these graders are being trained is not up to par. I'm going to scan these and I'm going to put them up on my Instagram at RetroWhoBreaks. And you guys help me out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. The other thing that I'm completely hooked on, which I'm going to do a whole nother video about, is the PSA registry. They got me. I poked around in it. I tried it out, and it was great. It was great, and it sucks because I don't like PSA. I don't like this. This inconsistency of how they grade is not good. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate y'all. I did do this video on the same day that I did my Mega Box video, so I am wearing the same clothes. I do take showers occasionally, so don't come in the comments about that. I'll catch y'all on the next video. As always, I love y'all. Peace.